right, I hit the live button. And I think if you want to, I mean, you already know, but if you want to monitor the chats, it'll be on Facebook and
Oh, cool.
YouTube. So Cure Fan Doc, Facebook, and YouTube. So, hi, if anybody's already watching, I know this just blasted off into like
Right?
a million
We
one.
just broke down the door and jumped into everyone's
Fuck yeah.
lounge.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey,
Woo,
everyone! Happy New
woo.
Year!
Yes.
Woo!
But, um,
Woo-hoo!
but I'm going to try to boomerang this stuff into other communities. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm
boomerang it.
saying?
I got other windows open so I can boomerang it too.
Okay. All right. Yes. Essay. Where are you right now? Like what room? What is this? What is this secret
So
little?
this, am I wearing pants? Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So this is basically, like, if you look, this is like I can touch both walls. This is practically a wardrobe. This is just a tiny little room. Oh, and what do we have here? Oh, is it a cure?
Oh,
Oh,
look!
there's a
Oh,
flashback.
2019.
Yep. Forever, forever, ever. Forever, ever? That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, Millie's here. Happy New Year, Millie.
Hey, Millie! Happy New Year.
Millie, I actually wanted to give a shout out to. It was a highlight in meeting Millie. Did you meet Millie in person, Carl?
Um,
I'm
I,
about to
I,
put
I
you on
may,
the spot, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. I may have. I feel like I've just met so many people. When I feel like I'm at a point where when I meet new people, it pushes out older people. And like like my brain lately, maybe I need to
mental
take more.
note.
Yeah, mental note. I need to consume more of those. Not the magic mushrooms, but whichever ones that help with the brain health. Yeah. I think all the
Right.
nutrients go straight to my luscious hair.
Well,
Oh, okay, there it is on Facebook. Let me share that.
yeah, I'm gonna share it into your group
Cool. We can both
as
share it.
well. Yeah, and so Millie, I met. I mean, Millie, I must have met in New Orleans because she was hosting. She put together a fabulous starter party.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Allison's here. She says, "Hey, Carl. Hey, Arusha. Leanie Venna is here. Says, hi, Carl. You look great. Happy New Year. Hi, Arusha. Happy New Year. Lucia says hi. Everybody's saying hi, hi, hi. So anyway, so my first show this year was New Orleans, and I didn't even think I was going to get in. It was like a total sob story of being locked out, and there was a lot of mutual aid as far as getting tickets. And I got tickets, and not only that, but I got front row center, which was grateful, and that was all because of Cure fans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and there's Joyce. Joyce says hello. So
Joyce.
Millie, I want to say the thing that made the most impression about Millie. I mean, I went to the party that she put together. Leanie and Angel were also a part of that, but I mean, Millie was really I mean, it's her town, so
Yeah.
she really got everything going and produced it basically. And Leanie and Angel co-hosted, but it was a great atmosphere. It was such a wonderful kickoff to the start of the tour, and I was busy running around doing my thing. And Carl, you know how I get.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I can get a little bit like, okay, thanks, bye. But Millie and I spoke, and she said, thank you so much for what you do. And she said that she didn't really know that this whole community kind of existed.
Hmm.
And I just, there's Jane. You may know Jane. Jane Tapia.
That's right. That's a new name. That name hasn't existed for 1 year yet. So it's been a couple of months.
Yeah, and before you get to
Yeah.
that joyous occasion that happened this year, I want to say hi to Joyce. I feel like I'm on. Did anyone ever watch Romper Room? And we say hi to Carl and Joyce. It was something I watched in the 70s when I was a kid. Shirley Chan Volk. There's Allison again. Carl Palmer. Hey, Carl.
What is this? Send 200 stars to see your comment here.
I don't know.
Is that a is that
Where
a
do you
thing?
see that?
So in the push page in the comment section, let me screenshot this just in case. But like so basically in everyone's comments, like there's Carl Palmer. Hey Carl, UK Carl, the OG UK Carl. Now I'm the infiltrating UK Carl.
Right?
So there's Carl Palmer's comment, Millie's comment, Roxy Hall, but below that is a thing that says send 200 stars to see your comment here.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I
And,
wonder if that's like a monetization thing, like pay to play.
200 stars? How do you even send a star?
I don't know. I think I've seen that. I've seen something similar in other social media stream deals, like in Twitch. There's some. I don't know if it's stars, but there's something where it's essentially like pennies. Um, Anyways, that's something to research and look at
Yeah,
another
this is
time.
dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so hello to Susan DeGrange. Hello, Cindy Gamble. Cindy and I went to Portland together.
Cindy.
Roxy
Yeah.
Hall. Um, did I miss anybody? If I missed you, don't hate me. Oh, and he says it pins your comments to the top. That's what Carl says. Anywho, so Jane Tapia. Okay, let's go back to 2019 for a second because that flag came from when you and I don't even think we lived together yet, but we went to the Rock Hall, and I was like, how are we going to see each other because we were really far away, and I was like, I'll make a
Yeah.
flag, and it was kind of a joke, and then it turned into this thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we couldn't fucking see each other at all.
No, no. It was yeah. You were like a pin, from the distance that we were, but yeah, that was quite a night, and these flags became a thing where just from the pictures, we'd have our pictures, hey, and then people are like, oh my God, what are those flags? And it became just a thing where people wanted these, and it says "Thank you forever," and then it has the Rock Hall
Yeah,
information there at the bottom.
people made pillowcases and all kinds of shit out of them. But you
Yeah,
basically, Carl and I met on the 2016 tour. You ended up
yeah,
moving into my place right when the pandemic started.
right. Oh my goodness.
And I know we're here to talk about the 2023 reflections, but I did want to get to the fact that we were roommates for several years,
Yeah,
and you met Jane. Can we? I just
yeah,
wanted to give a shout out.
yeah, yeah. So basically, another thing through Cure fandom. At some point, I believe might have been 2017.
Don't fuck this up.
Um, yeah, yeah. Well, I had to submit this information, for our UK fiance and spousal visas. It's like because they want to know, how did you guys meet, and is this a legitimate relationship? And we met in I don't know if it was the fan club The Cure or 100% The Cure or some Cure fan club on Facebook, and at one point after realizing that her and I were commenting on like-minded ways on same on similar posts in the group, I sent her a friend request, which the way she tells the story is she had a couple friend requests at the time, and she was like, because she was like me, I'm a social butterfly. I'm always sending friend requests and accepting whoever, but she's a bit more careful. And then eventually she said, okay, I'll accept this guy's friend request.
I mean, she's more
And
reasonable.
yeah,
Let's be honest.
right, yeah, reasonable is a good word. So, and then over time, with just some messages here and there, and then excitement over the announcement of the 40th anniversary festival and Curation 25, and just chit chat, and we just became friends, messaging, telling each other, our life stories and stuff, and getting to know each other. But then when the pandemic happened, just before the pandemic happened, we were, getting to a point where we were going to do like a video chat, and then the pandemic did happen, and video chats, once every couple months, once a month, once every couple of weeks, and then it became weekly, and then it became nearly daily, and we were all in lockdown and kind of being there, supporting each other, and it got to a point where when you could fly, we did. I flew out to be with her and found out that we had some chemistry. There was some magic, and and what? It's just a whistle. Sometimes I whistle from time to time. Who knows what that means? Let's keep it PG. She's right now probably in the
And
lounge. She's watching downstairs. She's three floors below, and she's probably just
I
like,
know.
"What is he saying?" I
I
didn't say
know,
anything.
right?
It's a whistle. Whistles could mean anything.
Okay.
So, anyways, but yeah, no, it's like, um, it got to the point where, we realized we wanted to spend the rest of our lives with each other, and so we went through the process of getting the fiance visa and moving that from the fiance visa to the spousal visa. But I'm here. I'm here in the UK now, and I've I came with all my belongings in 3 bags, and but after living with you for what, 4 years? It was around
I
four
mean,
years.
it's crazy because like I mean, Carl and I are literally another Cure story of sort of meeting in 2016, which by the way feels like another world for a million reasons.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we spent a lot of time talking, but we were just essays. We were just that's what we call each other. We're like, hey, essay,
yeah,
what's up?
eh, yeah.
We're like buddies. I want to interrupt and say, Robin rocks, Roxy Hall. Hi to you guys. Hi to Andy Carrion.
Hey, Andy.
Siski Citizen Riley Cure fan. Oh my goodness. Did I already say Helter Skelter? Susie Dearman. Susie.
Hey, Susie.
Yeah, Susie's been a fucking rock star all the way from my
Yeah.
second fanzine when they wrote in about their early Cure stories to her talks about following the Top Tour. Cat Shields. Who am I missing? If I'm missing anyone, don't kill me. Anyway,
Angela. Sorry.
and Dave Stockmeyer. Hello. Oh, it's so great to have everybody here. This is so awesome.
So mushy.
Yeah. So that was a big, so Carl leaving New York, which was very hard for me because he's my buddy, and it was so great to have you here through the pandemic. And we started the watch parties too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But I'm really happy for you now that you're over there, and I'm even more happy that you have a guest room.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm getting it all fixed up, So when you're ready, get you out here, Cure crash pad.
Yeah. So as we reflect back on 2023 and 2024 and think about 2024, I feel like there's so many things to say. If anyone wants to say anything in the chat about anything, anybody, any whatever, feel free. If we don't address it, it's just because it's just going, there's just like 80 million people watching, so we just can't keep up. But one thing I did want to do is I wanted to give a moment of pause or just a reflection, wink, wink, for any losses that any one of us have had this year. Because in any year, there's a lot of loss and a lot of trials. And one thing that is really interesting to me that happened is in 2016 in New Orleans, which is so far the only show I've really talked about, I went with my friend Jeff, and we were interviewing people outside, and I met a local couple from New Orleans, who, these are my favorite kinds of Cure fans. They did not look the part. Like, they weren't dressed in gothy goth. They just looked like very normal people, and they were there, and they told me their whole story about why the Cure matters to them. And my friend, who's a professional videographer, recorded it, but he kind of fucked up. So it was like one of those painful Cure fan doc moments where we're like, oh, we didn't get it. But I went back and got their story from my second fanzine. And I want to read it to you guys because of a couple of reasons. One, I am sort of this fanzine is sold out, but I am promoting locking down your memories and sort of cataloging. That's what I love to do because of the following. So, Mr. and Mrs. Cortopazzi are the couple that I interviewed, and Mr. Cortopazzi court died recently. And I didn't, I don't know these people. I just met them through following The Cure, and I have their story, but I was so moved that I had this one little experience with these people 7 or 8 years ago. I was able to carry a story and bring it out to the world and just sort of be a witness of their love, just like I'm a witness of your love with Jane and just any love, like for The Cure, for the community, for travel. So here's the picture of Court and his wife, the Cortopazzis. And I'm just going to read what it says. You ready?
Yeah.
The Cure initially became a part of our family's lives in 1986 while in Germany. I was on military duty, and I first heard The Cure from a fellow soldier in Berlin. After this time, I met my future wife, fell in love, and started a family. My kiddos grew up listening to, singing, and dancing to The Cure. We celebrate as a family tradition every time The Cure visits, with each and every song having special meaning to our lives throughout these past 30 years. The second night in NOLA, 5/11/2016, was heartfelt by our family as they closed out with Boys Don't Cry. Lots of emotion. My kiddos grew up with that exact poster as one of the constants in their lives while traveling as military brats. It was the only thing we kept, no matter what, during each move. Wishing you the best on your adventure, and when you meet up with the guys, give them the warmest regards. So, Robert, Simon, Jason, Reeves, Perry, Roger. Here, Robert, are you
Mike.
watching? Mike. Greetings from the Cortopazzis.
Yeah. That's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah, I hear you on that. That was a good call to take this moment. It's just we even have quite a few close friends, surprisingly. And I think you were the one that pointed out to me, it's like as we keep breathing, with each breath, we're gonna enter a period where we're gonna know more people, or experience more loss. We have a Mexican fan friend. In the past, he's gone by Danny Gallup, Danny Dan. I believe the last name actually might have been Echeverria, but passed away just before Christmas. And I remember knowing him online, just remotely, on social
Yeah.
media. And I went to go scout 2019 just to see what the line looked like. I was staying at the hotel with a couple other fans, and it was early, but we wanted to know what the line looked like. So I went to the line with Craig Hogan and Dana. And we went, and on our way, at one point we were crossing paths on the bridge that covers this main road between one side and the venue, and wasn't really paying attention. But then I heard, in quite an accent, hey, Carl, and I saw Danny, and we had a moment, and we, in my broken Spanish and his broken English, and kind of thanks for community, and thanks for community talk, and we shook hands, took a photo, and I have a video where in the video he's in there for a moment in the 2019 Mexico video, but he's just going away and just a quick wave, and I put something that kind of sappy, sentimental, about, what's life, and we're all crossing these bridges, and it all seems to happen so quick, but
It does.
but yeah, we lost him, and but he it's just one of those things, I guess, makes you think, and he left an impression on me, just like all these people that were having these experiences with. It's just they still live on, in that way, I guess. But
Well, it's also just about travel and getting yourself out there. Dion Davis says, "Happy New Year, everyone." And there's a lot of sentiments in the chat about thanks for folks who are grieving. Because I also just feel like it's especially now in like the world where we're so polarized and we're so like it's us, it's them, it's black and white. It's not. It's all things at once. And
Yeah.
in any given year, in any given time span, you're going to have celebration and loss. And so you should always celebrate when you can, and you should try to get out there when you can.
Hmm.
So I love that image of the bridge, you crossing over the bridge, because I remember when you were planning, Carl, to go to Mexico, and should I and shouldn't I, and then I couldn't go because of finances, and you went and you had an amazing time.
Yeah, yeah. It was just yeah. It was so absolutely amazing. We took the chance, and I got to explore where my grandparents, grew up before my family emigrated to the U.S. And just one of the most amazing things is when some of us got to the top of the Pyramid of the Sun. Just there was four of us traveling, and we get to the top, and from another part of the pyramid, I hear, Carl, and you just 3,000 miles away on the other side of the world, you go to the top of the pyramid, and there's other Cure fans, and that from social media, and it's where I saw Van Vordelak, and Antoinette, and
Yeah.
some other, yeah, it's just yeah, one of those, hashtag Cure fan things, I guess.
Yeah, so Andy or Leanie or anybody who went to the South American shows, did you experience that? Were you on a mountain somewhere and you randomly ran into a Cure fan?
Yeah.
Andy says like the time we saw each other in London.
Yeah, yeah. I think I walked someone to their train, and well, it
Oh,
was, yeah, we were
right.
together. Remember? Right? Yeah, we
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the balloon girl. We put her on a train and we turned off to turn around, and you and I were getting ready to go walk somewhere, and then we both heard, "Hey, Carl!" And boom, there was Andy.
Right.
Yeah, another
Meeting
Carl
each other.
moment.
Yeah, meeting each other in train stations. Another thing I
Yeah,
wanted to another pitch for. So this is the 2019 fanzine, but I mean it's so interesting to me. Like when you document like little things, like this movie that is still undone that I've been trying to make for 25 years. What it does is it curates the feed, because otherwise this is all going to be lost on
yeah,
Facebook and YouTube, and it just gets in the scroll and you forget, right? You forget all these tiny little moments that mean something. Lini says yes, in Machu Picchu she ran into people. Um, uh, yeah, and JoJo was running around. Where's JoJo right now? Um, but in my 2019 Dream fanzine, I have this little quote from Perry, which I find really fascinating now looking back. It says, it's just a grab from what he put on his social media for his birthday in 2019. So another year on, and it's been a good one. In spring, I came out of hibernation to find I've been abducted uh, to the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame, being asked to attend in a non-performing capacity. However, it was the start of a chain of reconnections that have made me very happy. Thank you sincerely for all the kind messages. Please know it really does mean a lot to me, even though I am rarely visible. I'll try to fix that sometimes. Love, Perry Beaumonti. September 3rd, 2019. So to think about that, and then the fact that, he just shows up on stage in 2022, and we get to see him throughout 2023. Isn't that cool?
yeah, yeah. That's been very cool, and I'm sure we'll get to see him through 2024. Fingers crossed. Not sure what the
Yeah,
plans are.
I like what he says here. It was the start of a chain of reconnections.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we can look forward to in 2024 is reconnecting with some of the people that we've all connected it throughout the years. Focusing on the positive forces.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read the. Oh, we met a woman that was at Doom Dogs in Brooklyn. Um, that's from Leanie. Um, Andy said something about curates, but Dave Stockmeyer, I see you and hear you. he's reflecting on health issues that he's had this year, and that's another thing. It's like a lot of us have to fold back and stay at home, but it's so great to stay connected. The what is? Oh, never mind. I can't read anymore. But the other thing that happened with you and I, Carl, is we went to Texas together,
We did.
which was
That was
so
fun.
weird.
I know, and so many different things. Like at one point, like it was going to happen, and then it wasn't going to happen, and then it happened, and but yeah, I remember. I think one of my favorite memories was when we were at a gas station where there's probably loaded guns in each of the 10 lanes next to us, and you were out there with your flag with all the colors,
Yeah, it was a
everything representing everyone. Yeah,
trans
yeah,
flag. It was like promoting LGBTQAI.
yeah, yep. And it was just like, even in such a tense area, even though like my internal dialogue was like, oh my God, the attention we're gonna get, I don't want us to get in any trouble. But also looking back at that, you had the fucking balls to do that, and that's, to me, I just think that's fucking awesome. We both believe in that type of thing. But I don't know that I would have had it in me to, surrounded by so much heat, you know, um, yeah, that was pretty brave, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And just the side glances, and the people in the other cars surrounded by, the pull it from my cold dead hand bumper stickers,
Yeah,
and
yeah. So
it was
we were pulled it. We had gone
yeah.
to a diner, I think between Dallas and Austin, and it happened to be by a gas station or something like that. And I pulled out the trans flag to because
Yeah.
it was
We
very
did a
hard.
couple times, yeah.
Yeah, it was very hard for me to go to Texas and Florida for those kinds of reasons,
Yeah.
and I just didn't think twice about it. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. But one of my best memories in Texas was, I don't know if you remember this, but and I wanted to give a shout out to this one. So many great shout outs. But we were in Austin, and we were I think it was before the show, and some guy came up and said, "Oh, it's Carl, it's Arusha," and it was Franco from Argentina.
Oh yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
that
remember
was great.
that?
Yeah, 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 that was a great meetup.
Yeah, so Franco is a fan who lives in Argentina, and he is primarily on the Instagram. Um, but he came to us live in person and said hello, which for me is always better. I like to meet people in person versus, being constantly online, although we don't have choices sometimes. Um, but Franco and I have been in touch ever since, and he's just been such a positive force. Another great
Yeah,
human.
yeah, yeah. We ended up in a great conversation sitting in front of you, and we ended up creating one of those moments where you were like, can you guys, maybe a little lot, not so loud, and I was like, oh shit, I became that guy, who I'm always like, oh my God, these people are talking, but
Yeah, they
you
were
know,
talking
but we were
during the
also,
show, everybody. They were talking during the show.
but yeah, we were having this like cure fan type thing. It's the type of thing that should have happened at the pre-party or after party, but and also that was the night of probably the most steps. That's where we had seats right there. We had seats on the other side. We had seats on the floor, and like from song to song, I was like, oh, this song, oh, I want to hear it over here. And I was, wow, I had so many steps. We did
We did
so
do
many
a lot of
stairs.
steps. We did do
Yeah,
a lot of steps. And speaking of steps, there's a big shout out to the live streamers. Leanie being one of them because she's like a fucking sprinter to the front row to the rail, and she
yeah,
streamed for several shows. Montevideo, I think, which was on my birthday, which was unbelievable. It's so fucking good. So thanks for that, Leanie. And I don't think a lot of people really get how hard it is to do that. So you're in on the rail. You have to hold
Yeah.
your stance down. You're holding a phone, which is you're going to be irritating people, even though other people,
Yeah.
a lot of people are doing it. And you have to get knocked over, and you have to check the signal. And then you got knuckleheads
Yep.
being like, "Can you like zoom in?"
Oh my God, the commentary. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's just I remember, one of the very first Riga show. You remember we were, the Euro 22 announcement. First, we had that German leak, and so many people were like, it's fake, until the Cure says it's fake. And the rest of us are like looking at these leaked dates, and we're like, okay, how do we get to these? So we had advanced planning. But, one of our friends who came to our wedding, Lauren Emma Temperley, she was very kind to share. She was on the rail. And because also we had that leaked photo of keyboard stands on both sides of the stage, and we were like, "What's going on?" And she was trying to broadcast, but there
Right.
were so quickly there were some people that were just making stupid comments, and fair enough, she's trying to be nice and give something, but she was like, hey, sorry guys, I can't, with comments like this, I can't give this type of a stream, so she cut the feed,
Right?
um,
Jeez.
but that's one of the things, it's but there's a lot that goes into it. I've streamed quite a few shows, and you got to make sure you've got the signal. Sometimes that might require you buying a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. I was doing the video streams, and then if the video streams won't work, I was it Podbean, doing the
Yep.
Podbeans. But yeah, you're making sure you got extra batteries. You got signal. Um, where am I streaming to? Is it going to be, on Instagram? Is it going to be on Facebook? Am I going, portrait or landscape and but it's, so many fans that can't get to go to these things. I mean, it gives them a lot. It allows you to be in their pocket. And even though the picture might not always be perfect, I mean, you can. It's amazing with these phones, the sound quality. You can capture things and it gives you an opportunity to be there. And there might be something special or unique. But yeah,
Speaking
yeah,
of
very, very.
special and unique, I guess you know what? I'm doing a lousy job at making it only 2023, but I don't care.
Yeah.
First of all, I do have something to say about special and unique, but for Andy Carry On says streaming definitely helped me in 2016. The tour that I had to miss, the Periscope days, right? Um, lots of thank yous to other people just randomly in the community. Carl Palmer says he well, he's referring to Andy. Andy had said that, like, kudos to Leanie for being on the rail. Carl says, me neither, Andy. I neither have the patience or the knees for it. It takes a lot of stamina. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, I wanted to ask you, Carl, about, because I feel like 2023 was really the year that the Shows of a Lost World tour group blossomed, even though you started it in 2022. Like, can you talk a little bit about the inception of this Facebook group, and maybe say what the Facebook group is for anybody who's watching on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah. Well, basically Facebook with the group feature, I just had this idea the moment. Oh God, I think I even looked up. I think I created it when the leak was still considered a rumor.
Mm.
It was December 2021, and maybe the first week, maybe around the 5th. It was a weekend, and the German promoter website, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's something like Karsten Junk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, and I did some research, and I was like, they're historically like a promoter involved in promoting Cure shows in Germany. And so the leak translated it to English, and just with everything we've been through with the pandemic, is there going to be a
Mm-hmm.
Cure show or not? I went ahead and created a group, and I think the first post or two was like, "Hey, what does everyone think about these rumors? Would you go? Would you like to go? Does anyone know if there's any validity to them?" Which
God, I
created a
didn't.
fun conversation.
Yeah, I'm just. You're reminding me that it went back that far.
Yeah, yeah. It was because when the tour was going to start, was it
Well, it
when
started
was the
in
first October?
October 2022, but there was all
Yeah,
this
yeah,
like hedging back and forth of like whether it was gonna happen or
Yeah.
not, and COVID, and
Yeah. Well, it was within a week that the actual, official word went out, so the leak was legit, you know. And so, but yeah, we, created this group, and within a couple of weeks, I knew I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on my own. And so I started recruiting, an admin team, and for Euro 22, I brought in our friend Angela Ellis and Carl Palmer, here in the chat, and I don't remember who was just Euro 22. I know we also got Deanne Kernke, who's from Japan, and then when it came to also the U.S. leg of the tour, I expanded it to bring on Bub, who's always posting these great photos, and who was also on the rail a bunch, and they're very active with a lot of great posts, and our friend Jeff Downing, who caught the great moment of when Simon came over to say hello to us. Yeah, that was a fun time. Did I get
where
everything?
was that?
So when we were in Helsinki in Finland,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, we were at we got out of the show. We went to Jeff's hotel, and we were just sitting, and I'm facing the wall, and we're at this round table, and it's myself, Jane, Jeff's wife, and we're just chitty chatting. And at one point, I hear Jeff say, "Oh, there's the band. They just walked in," and there was maybe us already, two other people, and two people working the bar. And it was Roger, Reeves, Simon, and one of the newer bodyguards walked in. And they sat maybe three tables away. And so we're just chitty chatting, whatever. And after a couple of minutes, I think we're just talking about cats. In the middle of the conversation,
Love
everyone
cats.
shuts up. Yeah, right? Everyone just shuts up and is looking like behind me, and this shadow comes, and I hear, "Hi, Carl." And it was just one of those, like, I turn and there's fucking Simon right there, and we just, had a nice moment, and maybe after the story I'll have to post the photo because I'm sure there's a lot of what, yeah, right, but there's this great photo of me I'm sitting down at the table, and Simon is right there next to us, and for a fan like me, that was like it was just so cool that he came over and said hello, that and in front of some of my favorite people. I was just like, holy shit! Not only did that cool fucking thing happen, but in front of some of my favorite people who witnessed it and got some photos, and that was just the fanboy in me just. It's one of those core memories. That was sweet and nice.
Does that mean that
And
you accepted his request to be part of the Shows of a Lost World group?
I accepted his request. What?
I don't know. I'm making shit up.
Oh,
Wait,
okay, yeah.
wait, hold on.
But it's one of those.
Robert, I'm gonna get Carl to accept your request to be in the Shows of a Lost World group. Just hang on a second. Can you get online, Robert, please? Thanks. Bye. Anyway, continue.
There's some other things behind that that I guess I probably can't or shouldn't share that led up to because I'm just this average Joe who does this social media stuff and has normal day jobs. Why would he know my name? And there's some other things, other things to that.
Wow.
But it led
that
up,
sounds
yeah,
very sultry.
yeah. I
I
gotta
mean,
keep, yeah,
I know that Simon was especially in South America and Mexico. It just afforded. It seemed like a really like open and loving time, and he got a lot of photos and had a lot of conversations with fans. Andy says,
yeah.
absolutely, my voice was trembling when I spoke to him in November, coming from someone that's met him before. Happy for you, Carl. And yeah, Israel says, "Oh, 5 swing." I can't even. Never mind. I just almost gave somebody's.
Woo! Pullover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw there's a video. There's a video of them putting their mask on in the group. That
Oh
kind of.
no.
It's in the back. Yeah. So it's someone's video of the line, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm so excited to be here." What? But in the back, you see someone, and they're just like, and like their face is like just like super clear, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, so what
But
what Carl and I are going off about is just, there are some fans who have professional careers that they can't afford to
be associated with
with love, I
some people in
guess.
profession. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
like
like,
if
oh,
you love
you do this thing. Like some people might have old bosses who are just like old school and maybe just don't understand that you can still be amazing, an amazing professional, and enjoy fucking traveling and going to see your favorite band. Some people aren't, because we have some friends who go by different names,
right,
names that include the word Crawley, and it's not their original
right,
name, and it's
right. So
just
we were just talking about somebody who said something in the phone, and I almost said their Cure fan name, and I can't do that.
yeah.
And I get tongue twisted about that because, as some of you know, like I've been posting a lot lately about my money stress and income, and it's many many reasons. I was hit by a car in 2017, and my life completely changed from that. But also because I'm just, I am the girl who like takes the trans flag out at the gas station, and I am the girl that's like, yeah, this is what I do. I don't know. I just am terrible at like following corporate rules, and I was in the film industry, so it didn't matter. I mean, now it does, and I'm suffering a little bit as far as
Yeah.
income. So anyway,
Buy those fanzines, people.
yeah, really. No, you really should, because
They are really cool.
like I wanted to do one for every. My goal was to do one for every year for 7 years, but I got to 4, and it just. I love them, and like even like they seem to gain more power as the time carries on, because exactly that. It just is a memento. Look, there's Andy the Cure fan with Leah, who I absolutely love. Another Cure fan that I filmed like 20 years ago. It just marks the occasion. They're like little yearbooks, but
Yeah.
I've run out of money, and
If you bought Curepedia, these are definitely a good accompaniment to Curepedia. They fill in the gaps that Curepedia doesn't cover.
Yeah. Speaking of, has anybody? Oh wait, I'm being just a lot. I just want to. I'm all over the place, but Shirley says so mysterious about the fan. Yeah. Someone says love the old school Cure phone. Chris Bub says a lot of crew are in the group, especially Al, who posts official sets at every show, which is amazing. So that goes back to the fact that your group, Carl, blew up in 2023.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where yeah. It's just it became this thing. I don't know if Bubs who's in the group that can tell us where are we close to 20K yet? I know. Yeah, basically with the Year 22 tour, we got close to like 10,000 members, and I think we've nearly doubled with the U.S. and the South American dates, and it just became, initially just like something to coordinate and talk to other fans during the tour, but it also became something for other fans who couldn't attend to, hey, I can go to this page. And there isn't going to be any Simon Says Goodnight and all these other, it's not just a Robert Smith Cure posting page. It's like just about the group, and I can keep in touch with the group, and I can find out where the streams are,
Right.
It's
focused more than what I like about it is that it's not just like, oh, here's another picture of Robert. I mean, no offense to anybody, but I love the Cure, but like Jesus fucking Christ, how many, Simon Says Goodnight or whatever. I mean, I know I'm being sort of catty right now, but like. There's so much feed. Like your whole day can be focused on these photos, which is fine, I guess. Good for you, but that already exists.
Yeah, and that's I mean, it's like I from time to time I see a Simon Says Goodnight post, and there's a great picture of Simon. I do love that stuff, but it's like the constant feed. This is a great thing that focuses just on the tour, and it's for help. For help regarding tour, it's like, how do I travel? Because there were a lot of people that were like, I've never traveled before. I'm scared about how to do this. And people were sharing information about how to get a passport and tips and tricks. Like, hey, if you're traveling in this area, make sure, I mean, legit, like there's some things to be concerned about. Like if you have a backpack, wear it on the front or be careful with zippers. I mean, there's people looking out for each other. And there were even people saying like, if you are an English speaker and don't speak the native language here, get in touch with me. I mean, people just willing to help however they can. People like Leanie and I think it was Mike Baptist as well, maybe just helping out with tickets. Even just saying, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we had extra tickets. Boom, helping people out that might not have been able to see the Cure otherwise. It's been a great community for that. Sharing leaked poster files, and it's just and it became, initially it was just the Euro 22 group, and then it got a name, Shows of a Lost World, going into the with the U.S. tour, and it became the Shows of a Lost Tour group, and as long as there's Shows of a Lost Tour shows, that will keep going on, and then who knows, whatever, I plan to change the name in, what is it, 2028, when we have the 50th anniversary Hyde Park thing. It'll be
I
the
know you keep
50th
talking
anniversary
about
Hyde
that. You're
Park
like
group.
really like honed in on this like 5-year, 50th anniversary thing. But okay, commercial interruption again because there's some interesting
Yeah.
comments in the feed. A lot of thank yous to you, Carl, for starting the group. A shout out from Leticia. Hello, Leticia. I'm totally Letia. I'm butchering your
I
name.
usually say Leticia, but I will know when
Leticia
actually.
Verdi.
Yeah.
Mike Baptist is an amazing man. I met Allison Humphreys through the group and we're best friends. Oh, I didn't know that, Dion. That's great. I really hope the new album arrives sometime soon. We'll get to.
Robert, that's the Robert that I met in the airport. We met
Oh my
Robert in the airport
God, that's so
video.
great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we gotta
Okay.
get that back. So we're gonna talk about the new album, which again, this is my Robert Smith phone.
Yeah. That's a direct line.
Hello. He often just doesn't answer me. I don't know why.
Is he
But
still there?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Bob says I joined the group exclusively to network with people in England because I didn't know a single person there when I traveled in December of 2022. Think about that. Helter Skelter says love Curepedia. It's a wonderful book. Helter Skelter, do you want to go live with me and talk about the book sometime? If anyone wants to go live and talk about Curepedia and why it's wonderful, let me know. Same with this goth book because I have this little bookmarked part about the Cure, but this book is really really fucking good. There's it's not like I've read anything but like 2 pages of it yet because my brain. But and then there was something in here. I found my Curepedia today after losing it the first day. Carl Palmer, how are you losing it? Andy had said, my boss is a 62-year-old Chinese man born in Canada, and he jokingly teased me in a work email with about 10 coworkers that I guess Andy is going to have to cancel his Mexico City trip as the Cure's #1 fan. Cracked me up. Well, good for you. I'd be pissed off. Yeah, I just don't know why. Here's the thing about work and the Cure. If I had a property on the shore of Croatia, a beach property, and I was like, oh, I'm going with my sports team, my fantasy football team. We have these outings. Everybody at work would be like, oh my God, that's so great. But because it's music, it's another story. That fucking
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Yeah. Oh, one fun thing to continue to toot the horn of the group. Carl Palmer pointed out Mike Lord is actually in the Shows of Lost World group, as is Simon, and then we've got Tex in there. Al Robinson was doing this. Just once I noticed he was doing that, I was like, wow, that's so fucking cool. That Reeves Guitar Tech every night would
Yeah.
share photos of the set lists,
Right.
and it was always kind of cool to see his little like quotes and little fun things from different shows, and but we got Robert's one time Robert's Guitar Tech, Jeremy Hayward in there. He's teching for Perry now, yeah, I think. And but yeah, I don't know. Just it's been cool to like create this thing, and it almost feels like a bit of like a cosign, and
Yeah.
as a fan, it's like, oh wow, that's I mean, it still would have been fun if like nobody in there like, "Ah, we don't give a shit about this group and no one, but just that little bit of joining our group, as a member, just like, oh, that's kind of cool, I don't know if that means we're doing something right, because even if they didn't, it wouldn't mean we're doing something wrong. But it was nice to see, and anyway,
Yes.
where were we?
Okay. So, well, we're jumping around. We're future tripping now. So Siski, Citizen, Riley, Cure fan. Siski Citizen Riley Kierfan says 2024 could be a break. Did you mean a break year? A break year for the band. Very great tour. Oh, I see. I see what's happening. So they're actually asking about the new album. What we think, is it going to happen? And it could be a great year if the album actually gets released, and they tour again for the whole thing. What does everybody think? What do you think, Carl?
Well, on one hand, there are some songs we haven't heard yet. And they've played these for us live. And there's some great recordings. I don't know, like all these stories of it's going to be done or it's done. We just have to change this little thing or that little thing. And sometimes I just, scenario building in my mind, wonder if Robert might be like, you know what? They essentially have the new album. We played it for them. Like, why does it have to be on a saleable thing? I don't even have a compact disc. Like, why does it have to be on a physical compact disc so you can so that it can be the new album's been released. Here it is. Here it is on a thing because I can buy it. It's out. There's 6 new songs out there. I don't know. I mean, I wonder. We've been so close. We've been cure edging for how long at this point?
Well, it's in my fanzine of 2019. That's when it first.
I felt like it could have.
First came out.
Yeah, it's just but there have been so many. Even verbally from the captain's mouth in an interview, he's like, when he first said it's called Shows of a Lost World, on I think it was after one of those award ceremonies, and he shared the title, and I know at one point it was like, oh, we've got, what was it, 3 albums? It was like 2 albums. One is Shows of a Lost World, one is something else, and then there's like the single album, an album of noise, and just the thing that I've maintained about the album is that I wonder if it can be like a perfection type thing. It's like for decades, we've had a band, a lead singer who's kind of calling some of these shots, who essentially has been in a position to where it's like, this is the last year of The Cure. We're going to break up. This is our last album. But, sure, bad things can happen anytime, but you're young enough to where it's like, changed my mind. Let's make another album, guys. Come on, let's go put out, I got this idea called Head on the Door. I got this idea called Wish. I got this idea called Wild Mood Swings. Let's put out another album. I was just kidding. But now, like we talked earlier about loss, you're at a point where it's like, and I can imagine myself, I mean, I still have music I want to put out, but getting older, and when you get to a point where it's like, fuck, I could put out an album and it might not be up to me. It's the odds are that it could be the last album ever just because of the way things naturally go.
Yeah.
This could be my last thing. And I do really appreciate the approach of people like Nick Cave that are like, here's 10, 12 more songs. You know what? Fuck it. It's good enough. Put it out on the assembly line and start, producing more music. And sometimes I wonder, I don't know, I don't know what these little lyrical things that are being changed or rewritten or re-recorded, maybe they would make all the fucking difference in the world, but with all this time, why the album couldn't have been like, okay, you know what? This is good enough. Let's put it out. I don't know. Robert Smith has changed in very interesting ways. It's like once upon a time, and everyone's been, I don't know, I've been seeing these videos lately where like everyone kind of does lol or they say LOL, and they put the video of Robert Smith saying, if I ever, I don't ever want to be that person that plays our hits and does just that, and doesn't have a new album. And here we are it's been great. They look like they're having a great time, but people change, things change. And I at one point I couldn't imagine Robert ever going, I want to do an album that everyone's going to like. It's going to be our masterpiece. It's going to be well received. But maybe that is part of it right now. I don't know. I mean, there's so much, but I wonder, how many more albums could have been put out, if at one point we had enough material and we put it out and then, we worked on another one, it's like, I mean, if you're enjoying it, I imagine I saw a great thing about some producer that was just saying, if you're making music that you like, and then just put it out there and fuck it, but maybe that's part of the thing. Maybe he's not happy with it, and maybe he has an idea in his mind of what this masterpiece, what he wants it to sound like. And But I wonder a lot of stuff about that it's like this this shit is this what the album cover would look like? Would it just say Songs of a Lost World and has this picture, and with my man boobs, but
I'm experimenting with these. I'm trying to get these
getting
started.
the
So I chose one and I tried to unchoose it, and I may
yeah.
be failing.
Now it's on.
It's just on forever, Suzette DeGrange. How do I get this off?
Oh,
Okay,
there it
there.
goes. Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of comments about the Robert Leal says I have to say, out of all the bands I follow and all the fan meetups I have been to, hands down my most memorable have been meeting Cure fans. That is really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I met Robert at that airport, and then I know I saw him at the I think I don't know if it was the night before or after, but Pasadena Daydream. I just remember just dancing. I mean, it was probably the night before. We were all dancing on tables. And then at one point I turned and Robert's there, but yeah, just meeting. I like a lot of bands, and I've been to a couple different fan gatherings. But yeah, Cure fans, it's always like family reunions, and
Yeah,
that's been
family
great.
family you haven't even met yet. So speaking of, I want to say hello to Joey K. I want to say hello to Aaron Sand. I want to say hello again to Robert Leal. So cool that we met at the airport. I want to say a big shout out to Ivan Carlo Gutierrez Zapata. Ivan and I met.
Zapata.
Ivan and I met in 2000 on the Dream
He's
Tour
great.
in New
Yeah.
Orleans. It's a lot of New Orleans.
Nice.
Just Fanning says hello. Who am I missing? Kat Neroy. Also, she said it was good, or he, or they, they're, them. It was good during 2022 to have info for the pre and post show parties to meet people, drink good listens, listen to good music. Thanks, Carl, and thanks to Rusha, too. Well, thanks to Millie, thanks to Leanie, thanks to Angel, thanks to Carl Tapia, thanks to Andy Carrion, thanks to, who else put parties together? Oh, who was the woman in Bogota who put the Bogota party that I wanted to go to? I really wanted to go to Bogota, but I couldn't. Help me out. Hey, Andy Gardiner. Andy, I sent you an invite in case you want to come live with us. And if anybody else, while I'm at it, I can probably only do one person at a time, but if you want to be invited.
That's what she said.
Hey, oh, okay. So Millie says it was Bianca. So Bianca in Bogota, hosted a party, which, I mean, I'm sorry, I live in New York. It's one thing to throw a party here, but there's 12,000 parties. There's 5 million people. It's everybody comes to New York. Not a lot of people come to Bogota. So I really wanted to give a good shout out to her because that was huge. And from what I've heard, it was like a really great meetup. So thank you, Bianca, for doing that. Romper Room. Yes, Joyce, Romper Room. You remember. Let's see. Hello to Philip. Where is everybody from? Am I going to just start at like 10,000?
Oh, there you go. You did it. It's too late. It's like all those different watch parties. Now you gotta put each comment on the screen.
Right.
I'm looking for the article. I actually saw something the other day that there was something that that's interesting. And it seemed to say that Robert had actually gone in to do some more work on the current album. And there's like it's like a farm or it's like a barn that got turned into a studio somewhere in the southwest of the UK. Does
A barn?
does this ring a bell? Yeah, it's something. It's been in a couple of articles.
What you
It's some
talking
amazing.
about, Willis? Robert Smith is in
Yeah, it was on a farm in a barn, recording in some. But I mean, you walk in. I mean, it's air conditioning and everything is smells nice, and it's just it's.
I don't understand what you're saying. Are you saying that Robert Smith is in a barn right now? Is that what you mean?
Not right now, but he's been recently. The guy who wrote that goth book, Rob. I want to say Rob Thomas, but that's the I'm gonna push you around guy.
You
Um,
you mean John Robb?
John Robb, John Robb, not Rob Thomas. Um, he put up a tweet or a post somewhere recently where he talked about he was at the studio for some other work. I don't know if he was interviewing some other artist, but while he was at that studio talking, he was talking with someone who had mentioned that Robert Smith had been in there recently, um, working on the album. So, I don't know if that's just, popping in and someone pulls it up on a hard drive and then, does vocal overdubs or whatnot, but that he has been there recently. So now recent, what is that? Sometime in the last 6 months, who knows?
Oh, cool. All right, Bianca
Yeah.
is in the chat. Hey, Bianca, thank you so much for organizing parties. And full disclosure, I love promoting parties, and half the time I hate going to them. Not because I hate the people, but because I get very tired. Like my brain will shut down. Like I can go to the pre-parties a lot easier than the post parties because I just get very tired. And depending on one of the things with this brain injury since the car accident is the lights and the talking and all of the stimulation at once. Um, can create a total shutdown for Ruru. So then I just can't talk and I sound like a total asshole. Like I'll stare at people and they're like, hi, hello, and I'm not talking back. Um, but I am a big proponent of the parties because it's just as another way for people to connect. Carl, what was I going to ask you? What are some other highlights for you in 2023? Whether it was live or what? I think Andy Gardner's trying to get in, so I'm going to see if I can get him cooking.
Yeah. 2023. I don't know. It just I guess we had hoped for more varied set, but it wasn't too much different than the Euro shows. But we had a couple differences. Like was it there was like a Kiss Me Kiss Me song that I hadn't heard in years. Was it a Thousand Hours? So there were cute. There were a couple of gems that they had played on the North American shows that they didn't in the Euro gigs. So I was glad that it wasn't completely the same set list. And
Right.
and then another thing that was cool was like the posters. Like the Euro posters were cool. It was like the same design with different colors, but to have these artists producing a different poster for each show. And then I had, it was kind of funny when the first one came out, and then I went to the website, and it was like like where was the first U.S. gig? Whatever it was,
New Orleans.
like New Orleans. Okay, so the New Orleans poster goes for sale, and then we had the Texas gigs coming up that hadn't come out yet, and I was on the Cure merch the Cure merch site, and when you click to view the source image on the sale page, and it was like New Orleans /01.jpg, and I was like, oh, what if I change that to 02, 03, 04, and bloop bloop, all these posters for the rest of the dates were just like showing up, and that led to some fun interactions with the Iconics, or collections, the people who produced that,
Collections. Oh yeah.
but everything, yeah. But then, and everything leading up to the work that Matt Lineham, the New York City
Oh
posters, those were
yeah.
really cool. Yeah. And but yeah, the get-togethers, the parties, our travels, being cramped in a car, driving from, where did we go? Was it Houston to Dallas to Austin?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, with my
you
friend
know,
Ian and my friend Stephanie, who Ian's really not online very much. He's been a guest
yeah.
of mine on my show. He's listening to every um, Andy Gardner's trying to get in and it's not working. Um,
Well, do you want to trade off? I had only planned for half an hour, and I'm having a great time. Right now, I'm cutting into my. I'm already less than 8 hours before I need to start work, and I need to sleep in this time. If I bounce, is he able to slip right in. I don't know if that works. I'm not trying
Um,
to dip. I'm happy to.
I don't know if Andy doesn't work. It's not working. All right, Andy, let me see if I can redo this. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring up the dreaded thing that 2023 would not be the same without. Can you guess what that is? What was
The
the worst thing about 2023? Which maybe some people would want to forget, but it really was a big part of 2023.
2023, the worst part.
Oh my God, if you don't remember
Um,
this. You and I were working hard side by side trying to work around it when tickets went on sale.
trying. Oh, fucking ticket bastard and all that bullshit. Oh man, and then yeah, I was losing. Oh my god, everything I was trying to do with Twickets because I was like, this'll be good. I'm gonna reach out to Twickets, and then they put me to in touch with the CEO guy, and we were working with stuff, and we were able to help maybe 100 fans get tickets, and still some of them, yeah, but yeah, all the Ticketmaster bullshit, the verified fan bullshit, and God, what a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
yeah. Thanks for
real.
the memories.
Well, it's important because it caused all this.
Yeah,
It caused so much stress that I think it kind of leaked in the fan experience in America. I also think it leaked into the band experience. I mean, I'm not in the band, but I felt like there was just this extra tension hanging around on the American leg a little bit if you compared it to Europe, and then even going into South America, which just seemed like this light, effervescent dream. They were like just the weirdest people in the front row in America, and it was seated, and this person couldn't get tickets, and that couldn't get tickets, and then, like you said, like what was it? What was the Twickets tried to help, but then it didn't.
yeah, yeah. Well, and it's just it was interesting because it's like they have a page that basically lists them as an official partner, and I don't know how a lot of that stuff works. I know at one point Robert did mention Twickets, and I don't know if sometimes things are handled kind of loosely. Oh, okay, he name dropped us, so blah blah blah. We're the official partner. I mean, there was a lot of my wife would wake me up in the middle of the night. This was when I was in the U.S. and she's in the U.K. and she's so many hours ahead of me, and would see people panicking about something, and like this, I do this for free, but this was happening like a job, and she was calling me in the middle of the night like, hey, everyone's freaking out about this Twickets for this show, and then I'm getting on the horn with oh, what the hell was his name? The guy from Twickets, and then he's talking to someone from Ticketmaster and putting me in touch with this guy from Ticketmaster, and it just, it was such a fight, and we were doing it because it felt like the right thing, fighting for fans, because we know how important that is to us, um, but just the way Ticketmaster was bullshitting everyone and doing the what is the thing where they automatically change the prices depending on how many tickets are selling, and maybe they
Mm-hmm.
were telling Robert, oh yeah, we're not going to do this. Oh well, we forgot to turn it off for these shows, and the it's just it's such a Davy and Goliath type thing, and it was nice, when Robert did the thing where it said people were getting refunded the difference, or getting the fees, whatever online purchasing fee.
Mm-hmm.
He went to, and so there was a lot of publicity about that, about Robert going to bat, and getting that refund of the fee in particular was I think great, but then there was one time where people, a third row ticket for some random city went up, and it was up there for $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
and people were buying it. People were
Mm-hmm.
buying it,
Oh,
and people were
Sorry, JC is here. He says it's dynamic pricing. That's the word you're
dynamic
looking for.
pricing. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my mind is a bit of a soup sandwich right now, and it's just the dynamic pricing going on. But the thing is, tickets were going for these high prices, and people were buying them, and you know. And then we were all tagging Robert like, hey, look at, the dynamic pricing is not off. And then Robert would say, what is that new acronym? IHBT, I have been told. He
Oh
was
my
putting
God, that's
IHBT,
another
all caps.
super 2023 thing.
Yeah.
IHBT.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on Twitter, search IHBT, and the first ones are probably going to be Robert Smith right there. And, but he was saying, I have been told that they forgot to turn it off and people are going to be refunded the difference. And I like to think with our group, well, hopefully that did happen, but in our group, we were not able to find anyone that actually paid the higher prices and actually got that refund. So it's
Yeah, you're reminding me of a time when in Seattle when there was a Cure fan that got me and my friend Cindy in, and we had to walk in with them at the same time because it was on his phone and they were non-transferable. It was such a nightmare. And I thank this fan for helping me, but it was like he was waiting for somebody else who was late and this and that and the other. So I think that this is actually something we're going to need to, maybe since we've lived and learned, we can sort of think about prep for the future because that shit's not going to
yeah,
change. That shit's not going to change.
yeah,
David Broom says, I wonder whether the ticket fiasco will mean they'll never play the US again. Although I think some band members would probably want that to happen. I'm sure they're going to play the US. I mean,
yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, he said see you again, so that's it. He said see you
well,
again, so you know.
um, yeah. And just so some of you watching know, there's people watching on YouTube and Facebook, so some of you're not going to see all the comments. Um, but I really
I thought
appreciate.
you were mentioning comments. I'm like, I'm not seeing these. I was like, how many people have me blocked? But okay, they must be on YouTube. So
Right? Yeah. I don't. I try not to block. I mean, there's a few people I've had to block, but
yeah,
I try to keep an open mind that people will come around
yeah,
and not be total ding dongs. But full disclosure, I like it when people go to my YouTube channel because I feel like Facebook makes more profit off of me, out of all of us. I mean, everything that we put on Facebook makes them money, and YouTube at least affords, it's sort of like a slightly different algorithm. They make money off of our lives too. Um, so one of my goals is to figure out
yeah,
like how to do these things without these companies making money off of us.
yeah,
But Carl, oh, there's so many comments in
yeah.
the that are great. But
Oh,
Carl,
Joyce got a refund. So Joyce is a person who she paid for the higher price tickets and so she got the refund. So that's good. Okay, where were you going?
just saying that if you need to check out, you need to check out Andy Gardiner. I'm so sorry that this link isn't working for you. Unfortunately, um, I don't have the brain power to troubleshoot it and talk at the same time. But if anybody else in the chat, wants to join in for a second, we can try it. And does anyone have
Hey,
any
I
last?
think I see Andy.
Well, he's in the chat, but I was going to try to get him on with the two of us,
Okay.
but he can't get the
I'm
link.
here.
Oh, you are.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There he is, all snuggle as a bug.
Okay.
yep.
Let's do this, and we'll
All
do
right.
1, 2, 3. Hey,
Hey,
because you're in.
let's go to
I
bed. Hmm.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not in a porn movie. I have a really bad sciatic nerve,
Oh
and
no.
I have been horizontal now for basically since before Christmas. Um,
Oh, I was gonna make a joke, a porn joke, but now I feel like I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But by the way, Carl, how is Jane? Because if she has some kind of something to put in a syringe to load into my leg, I'll take it.
Oh, now we're gonna be talking about.
You
This is
know
a
we
medical show now.
pain relief. Yeah. Yeah. Now here we go. So we're gonna be talking about yeah. No, we just been trying to eat low inflammation foods and doing exercises and a lot of
Exterminate,
hot baths.
exterminate,
Right?
exterminate.
Oh my goodness. Oh, poor thing. Good. Hey,
Yeah.
Andy, do you happen to know the name of the studio where they're recording the new album? It's a place that's like it's a barn, but it's been turned into like amazing world-class studio.
Most world-class studios do spring from barns. Yes.
Okay, so there's a number of them. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah. Why?
Well,
I mean, what have you heard?
Well, there's some articles. I'll have to find John Rob's post or John Rob,
No,
because there was
John
something
Robb.
where
John Robb.
he,
By the way, with two B's, not just one. Two B's.
right, Robaba. And he had put up a post about being at this studio. I guess I'll just have to find that. You mentioned the studio, and I think he was talking to the owner or someone that worked there who said how Robert had been in recently. I don't know what time of frame the word recently covers, but he said that Robert had been there, like working on
1872.
Yeah,
Carl
that's still recent.
Palmer says not Rockfield, is it?
No,
Rockfield.
No, the Cure never recorded Rockfield. No, ever.
I actually think this is it.
What, did you find it?
Yeah, the Cure, Robert Smith, Rockfield Studios.
Well, somebody's asking who this is. So this is Andy. He's a porn star that we met. No, he's not. Andy's a producer, music producer, musician, Cure fan, manager. Well, you wanna say? Are you gonna hide now? Now you're gonna hide? Did I put you on the spot?
I'm just there.
Well,
Yeah.
why don't you tell the lovely people a little bit about who you are and what you do?
No, I'm not promoting on the 1st of January, but all I can say is that there is a short list of people that are going to mix the new album, and that I have heard from very good ears.
Okay, cool. And
which means that it theoretically is moving along.
Holy shit! I actually this kind of okay. I'm not going to say much more
But
because
I'm not being an idiot, a wanker, saying I know better than anybody. I don't know better than you guys. I just know, and without saying his name, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He has been told that there is a short list of people that quite possibly could be mixing the album. So
okay, cool.
Let's leave it at that because we don't know better, and if we say anything, we'll just create a rumor.
Right.
Yeah,
so
we'll all go wrong.
Andy, the porn star, in true Robert Smith fashion, is saying IHBT. I have been told.
Yes.
That maybe it's what are they called? Oh my God.
Liars.
No, I was going to try to name one of the worst bands in the world.
Spandau Ballet.
Oh, Creed. No. Creed?
No, if anybody, and people are going to hate me for this, then why aren't we talking about The Cure? But if anybody has a VPN or is in Britain, Carl, you're in Britain, if you go on the BBC iPlayer, the Kemp brothers from Spandau Ballet, did you see this yet, Carl? On the iPlayer, it's called The Kemps All Gold, and it's like as good as Spinal Tap. It's the two people from the worst ever band in the world, which was Spandau Ballet, making a BBC. It's Arusha. Really, put your VPN to the BBC iPlayer. It's called The Kemps All Gold. It's comedy gold. It's the best thing.
You have to check that out.
The Chems All Gold.
Not to get too far from The Cure, you mentioned Spinal Tap. I saw a photo of the three main guys from that film, and it looks like they're filming a follow-up, filming a sequel.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, and Rockfield.
Brian May is involved.
Yeah. So actually on thecure.com, it does say in February 2019, The Cure went into Rockfield Studios to record 13 new songs and rehearse for what was destined to be a very intense year. So, and then in September, the band went back into Rockfield Studios to record another 7 songs. So they are. So I guess I guess it is Rockfield where this new album is being recorded at.
David Broom says Andy, as in Andy Gardiner. This is like a 21st century version of John Lennon's stint in the hotel bed. Hope your sciatica clears up. Elaine Trail says Andy Gardiner worse than the Bros one. That was insane.
So this is Christmas, and what
Yeah.
have we done? Another one over.
I'm
Where-
surprised.
Hi, David.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, where are you coming? Where are you broadcasting from? What town? Andy.
What, me?
Yeah.
Paris. Paris.
Oh, did you run into anyone else cure-related in Paris recently?
No.
All right, we're not even drinking and we're kind of going off the rails.
Okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. There was just been posts about some people being in Paris for New Year's. Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, you know what?
So I have a dark and
Oh,
mysterious porn star, and then I have Carl. What's happening?
Oh
Well,
no, it's just the missus.
Put it this way. I think, and I still, and I will have the chat soon because I'm obviously messing everything up. But I just want to put my theory down again, is that there will be an album possibly at some point physically as a record. But I think that Robert very cleverly is doing something very new, which is releasing tracks through various tours. We had Europe 2022, we had America, and then South America 2023. Hopefully, and I think I'll get to it if it happens, Southeast Asia, possibly Australasia, what have you, 2024. And basically, who needs the bloody album? I mean, we've got 4K, and Robert knows this, and they will obviously at some point they will release some kind of digital format. But anybody that wants to hear the 6 or 7 new tracks can go on a million zillion things on YouTube, and even on Spotify now. I mean, people are kind of like mixing them in studios and what have you. Nobody's ever done this. And, it sounds great. All the people, it's now hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in total that have seen these new songs. So, they're getting loads of, it's not about the money, but the public are able to appreciate this stuff by watching and listening to them on, social media, YouTube, what have you. What the hell would a sort of boring, flat mix down, me being a boring, flat mix down person that works and has a studio and makes people's records, to be honest, the performance of a great performance on YouTube sounds better and has more dynamic than anything that you will get in a studio. Obviously, they will end up doing that. But I think Robert is kind of getting off on the fact at the moment that he's being a bit precursor in that we are loving all, the live gigs and then everything we can see and hear and watch on streaming platforms. And I think, everyone's going, where's the album? Where's the album? Where's the album? But since this integration and that nothing is forever. And I have watched 48 different versions and I love it. And then I'll get the real version if we get the real version at some time in 2027. And it won't possibly be as good. And nobody's ever done this. And I think I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it, but I'm quite convinced that there will be some kind of press release in next year, or maybe in 3 months or in 30 months, who cares, saying, we have released the album around the world. Everybody has heard it. I think they're now over 250,000 people that have actually seen those gigs since last year, 2022. You know, it doesn't really matter. Hey, you know, I don't know. I mean, people used to do it the wrong way round. Pictures for You, when Disintegration was released, for example,
Pictures
and
of
we
You.
could go back. Pictures of You was really badly recorded, and half of the bass line on you know, it's been, you know, he's always talked about it, was not recorded as it should be. Lullaby didn't have the guitar solo that he wanted to have on it, etc., etc. You know, going back before that, Sinking was 1 minute too short on Head on the Door.
Really?
Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. Yeah, no, there's loads and loads of stuff where you learn, and it's not. I'm not talking just about The Cure. Any
Sure.
live band worth its salt
Right.
learns to really play the song that they had written properly when they go out and play it live.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting because Robert is kind of so intellectually intelligent when it comes to explaining his music and the way he makes and records his music. He'll be able to just, you know, again, send us all to the devil by being able to explain, well, the reason I did this, nobody's ever done it before. We're The Cure, blah, blah, blah. We played it all around the world to get it ready. And now we've made a definitive recording, and we're not even recording it in a studio because you have it in between your hands. And I really would not be surprised if within, you know, a few months' time, there's a kind of announcement made by The Cure where they do something wacky, like, you know, you pay $10 to get a kind of digital cover, which will kind of like magnetize some files off the internet to put it all in your digital cover, done by Andy Vayler, of course, you know, Parched Art or whatever. There'll be some kind of thing which will just be the new way of doing things. And then there'll be like a huge article in The Guardian, like The Cure do it again.
Yeah.
No, but really. I mean,
No, I believe
and that's
you.
why I love this band.
Yeah.
That's why I love this band.
Andy,
I just can't. Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna interrupt and say that you reminded me of something that I bookmarked for the conversation, which is like from John Robb's book. The chapter on The Cure starts exactly with what you're talking about. It says, like a riddle, wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma. The Cure are a rare jack of all trades and are somehow the masters of them all.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I really think that Robert is probably talking to, or was talking to, until November, when he takes like 3 months off the Christmas period, and he'll start talking to them again in February. But some sort of Japanese guy or girl who's this really weirdly intelligent online programmer, coder, whatever, and they're working out some really weird thing to sort of magnetize the best of 4K stuff from the shows of the end of the world, with some sort of like artwork that you can personalize or something. I mean, I cannot believe. I mean, it's not possible that you know, Universal, or if they've gone back to Elektra or whoever, is going to announce that the end, like March the 27th in 2024, The Cure are releasing a new physical album or across all digital platforms. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, they 3 sold out Wembley Arenas, 3 sold out Madison Square Gardens, all the other like 65 dates in between. You don't go and do that and then kind of like, oh, we're going to release an album. no, they're going to release something, but it's not going to be like we know it now. I think it's already been released, and it will be more just like all these posters and whatever that they sell for all through their shows of everything they've been doing. There'll be some kind of marketing thing where you'll pay $15 to have some kind of keyword or password or something, and it will give you access to really, really good quality streaming and whatever. And I think again, we've had all such a great time in the last sort of 2-3 years since they got on this last bit of the tour. That's what counts, and I think Robert knows that and he appreciates it. But anyway, you can keep me off the chat now because like my sciatic's kicking back in.
Hey, Andy, Jane says to see a chiropractor. That's Jane's advice.
Okay, get this right. I saw my physio yesterday because I've given up smoke. I gave up smoking again last week, and my physiotherapist told me that I've got my sciatic kicking in because I'm stressed because I've given up smoking. So there you go.
Oh boy!
All right. Well, we can't.
You can't win, can you?
Yeah.
Well, this is the gift of aging is all the body shutting down. But we're not going to get into as my parents would say, an organ recital, talking about our organs and all of our pain. Only emotional pain. Just kidding.
Right.
Well, Andy, no, I appreciate all of your thoughts and insights. And before both of you go, I'm gonna lurk about when you guys sign off. I just wanted to say thank you both for coming on, because we can't all, like everybody who's in the chat, we can't all be in the same room together. But as time marches forward, like conversations and gatherings are really important. And I think, I don't know about you, but I just feel like I literally can feel physically better, even if it's just for a short while, when I have live conversations and disagreements and, hear other people talk. And it's a simple thing that we used to all do more often when we weren't so siloed, I guess. But I really want to keep it going. So thank you.
Can I make
love you guys? And just before I sign off, just again, because we've been having a laugh, but I really honestly believe, and without any arrogance of the fact that I work in record labels and whatever, I'm prepared to bet my black and white checkered quilt, as you can see, that The Cure's Songs of a Lost World, or whatever it will call album, we've already heard it, and it will be some really clever digital marketing exercise. There will be some physical thing, but the album as we know it, we've already heard 3/4 of it, and we'll have access to brilliant digital. And people should just sort of stop worrying about where's the album. We've already got half of the bloody album for a year and a half now, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Right.
So let's just enjoy it.
Well, I just think I think some people, are collectors and they like to have.
And I get it. So am I. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Andy. Thank you for joining.
Yep. Oh, Arusha, we're coming in March to New York. So another tour of Brooklyn, please. Another tour of Brooklyn.
If I'm still here, I'll take you around. If I.
Well, where the hell are you gonna? Where else are you gonna be?
Homeless, but that's another story. All right. Mwah.
All right, that's another story. Love you. Bye. Bisous. Bye. Cheers, Carl. Bye.
Cheers. See you. All right. Hey, one thing I wanted to ask real quick, Arusha, right now that we got everyone's attention, because we were talking about the new album and sounds and everything. If anyone's interested, I can post these as videos. I got a great quality I'm guessing it's a soundboard recording. I got this like zip file. It was like nearly 2 GB, but it's just audio. And then I took that and ran it through these AI programs to isolate the drums, isolate vocals, isolate guitars and bass. And if anyone's interested to hear those like just individual tracks, I can upload that stuff because that's one of the things that's been really interesting to listen to. One of the things that was cool about the South American shows versus the rest of the shows, I feel like the keyboards were maybe put up like for Alone. Like there are keyboard parts that to me were not as loud for
Yeah.
Alone on previous tours. And I was like, I've listened to other shows on the previous, the America leg and the North American leg and the Euro leg, and I was like, okay, it's there, but it wasn't as loud or up front of the mix as it is in these soundboard recordings. So. But anyways, just if anyone is interested, DM me or tag me or put it in the comments
But
section.
Carl, what are we DMing you for exactly? Say it again.
Well, because maybe nobody wants to hear it. And so if someone wants to hear it,
No, no,
just
no. But say
put something there
what
that they
it
want to hear these
is.
individualized tracks.
Individualized tracks from South America.
Soloed drum track, soloed bass track, soloed guitar track, soloed vocal track. It's not. I wasn't sent these tracks, but I found these AI programs, and I was like, oh, this would be interesting. And you put it through this program, and then it takes a full audio track, and it does a pretty good job of spitting out the individual instruments. So hearing just the vocal track by itself, hearing just the drum track by itself. I
You're
figured I'd
getting.
ask first. I could probably take the time and upload it, but if no one's interested, then fuck it.
I mean, you're already getting yeses, and I'm sure that people would be interested in it, Carl. I mean, come on.
Okay.
We already
Well, that's
got.
just the thing. I spend much less time in social media than I have recently, so I just wanted to make sure to have some sort of confirmation. So that's enough. I got it. I got that there in the comment section.
Yeah, and then
So
we'll blast it in the chats and
okay.
the things and the others.
Yeah. Make sure to smash that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're gonna sign off. Does anyone want to say anything particular to Carl before he jacuzzi's out of here?
Yeah. I became a grandparent recently, the missus and I. How about that? That's exciting.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
We got
huge,
married
bro.
in October, and then a couple of days later, Jane and I became grandparents.
Oh my God, I didn't
Bow, bow, bow,
realize it was
bow.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
your world is as expanding and vibrating. Look at me now. If anyone knows Nick Cave,
yes,
that was a Nick Cave reference. Before you go, though, I will have to say that what Andy Gardiner's predictions is interesting because he did bring up the element again of how a song, if you're a band that's really good live, you realize the song grows, and that is one thing that I like about Nick Cave. He does something completely different than The Cure, is that he puts his albums out now. They're not as polished, they're not perfect. He's fine with that because he knows that the song is really gonna soar and grow
yeah,
its own legs live. And so he's more prolific. I mean, frankly, after Grief, if anyone out there wants a good Grief companion, follow the Red Hand Files. But yeah, so new album. I really don't care, to be honest. I mean, I hope it happens,
yeah.
but I don't care. I just want them to live. At this point, I want them to be healthy.
And yeah, maybe it's just one of the things like we got a lot of great stuff. Enjoy it, and enjoy your artists while you have them, and it's one of the things when we were talking about loss earlier. People that we've lost recently. It's like I hope they were enjoying it. I hope they heard the new songs live and weren't so focused on a new album and just enjoyed the hell out of hearing Alone, End Song, all these other new tracks. So, anyways, all right, I got nothing else. I got to go sleepy bye byes.
Okay, well, good night, Carl. You're getting a lot of congratulations. I'm
Yes,
gonna lurk
thank you,
about
everyone.
for a minute. Peace, and tell
Stay
Jane I said
lurking.
hello.
All right, we'll do. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Have a good night. Take care. See you next time. Bye. Or I do it like this, where I go whoosh.
Yep. Oh, look at that. That was clever. Clever Carl. All right. So if anyone is still hanging out, yeah, I just want to say thanks so much for coming about, hanging out today. New Year's Day is is cool, but it can be weird because it's like it's one of these days that you're supposed to be feeling a certain way. You're supposed to be reflecting. You're supposed to be doing what your intentions are for the year. Supposed to. It's a lot of pressure, and I don't like that. So I like having these conversations, and it's so nice to see everybody pop up in the chats, and I really want to advocate for everyone to think about the people that they've met this year, whether it's through the cure or not, and the relationships that they want to grow and nourish them like a plant, like these little plants back here. Oh wait, you guys want to see my plants for a second? This one, that one's been there since I moved into this apartment 14 years ago. Also, can everyone wish me luck and not losing my apartment and finding income? Anyway, but yeah, like let's nurture each other and growth, no matter what happens with the cure this year. Is that a Subway-sized Nick Cave poster behind you? Yeah, it's not that big. It's a birthday party. Well, I guess it's Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, but it's interesting because it's really a birthday party one. And then here's another favorite of mine. Too bad Mars isn't here, but Cramps. I fucking love the Cramps. And then here's, I'm going to offend somebody, but when I used to be a rock and roll DJ, here's this poster. I don't know if you can see that. It says Death Rock Booty Call, and it says no yuppies, no Nazis, and no Christians. And it says rich people welcome. It was just a joke. It's a joke. Christians can come. It was just more about like really like oppressive people. Some of my best friends are Christians. I'm just totally teasing. But yeah, so if anyone has any ideas of what they'd like to see, what kind of chats they'd like to have, drop me a line. If you're friends with me on Facebook, send me a chat there. I don't really check Cure Fan Doc too much just because there's just so much and overwhelmed. I'm on Instagram a lot. You can make a comment on this feed on YouTube because it'll stay there. The thing about Facebook that I don't like is it just scrolls and you can't see everything and it gets lost. So if anyone has any subjects, Leni, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, if you're still here. I really want to interview Leni. I really want her to do a reflection of 2023 and, bring us to even a mental space where some of us are never going to have that experience. The highs and the lows, the goods and the bads, or whatever. Yeah, Arusha, thank you for this. I've been pretty sad navigating a loss, and spending time like this was great today. Good. We need each other. We really do. We really need positivity. Unfortunately, life is full of fucking loss. Like, that is the one thing. I mean, that's what Nick Cave says. I'm a big Nick Cave fan. He talks about how loss is like the one thing that everyone has in common. I'm going to say breath. Everybody breathes, and everybody has the right to be here. What Joey K in his bare feet? Are you talking about Robert Smith? That was what, 2021? So yeah, so reach out to me if anyone is keen on talking about Curepedia. You got to be kind of really comfortable with talking online too. I'm not gonna lie, or this book, or if anyone's read Lowell's Goth book, and if anyone has ideas of what they would be interested in talking about, because I really want to continue doing this every other week. Sorry, I'm reading the chats again. Tink says, I don't care about the new album. I care, but how many years has it been? Life goes on. I have my favorite songs. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic because it has been 5 years now, almost, since we've heard about this new album. But But I get it. Life has been really, this pandemic changed everything. It really, really did. So give yourself a break if you're struggling, and we can give the band a break on the new album, can't we? So yeah, let me know. Helter Skelter, do you want to talk about? I'm forgetting. Do you want to talk about Curepedia? If you want a fanzine, they are available on my Etsy page. They're really, really, really cheap, by the way. Like, I'm basically just have to get them out into the world, and then I'm done with them. I really wish I could make more, but I just can't because I have to fucking make a living. I have to go make a living. So, thank you so much for joining me on New Year's Day. May you all be well and peaceful and free from suffering as much as possible. Get together with your friends, talk about The Cure, go see a show, or not. Go listen to music at home. I'm reading the chats again. So hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks. And then I have a special live thing that I'm going to do at the end of January. I'm not going to reveal what it is right now. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like Robert Smith is going to be calling me. But you might be seeing some other members of the band. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care. Love you. Send in your thoughts. Thanks so much for Carl and Andy for popping by. Bye.